discuss the idea of divorce before marriage, I think a lot of people believe that you should not, in fact, discuss the idea. Because if you do, in fact, love someone, then why would you even consider the possibility of divorce? It makes absolutely no sense. And to a certain extent, I really do agree with that because why marry someone whom you do not love? Why marry someone whom you might not even love in the future? It makes no sense. I believe that the entire purpose of marriage is to solidify one's love with each other. I really do believe that, and I don't think that uh, marriage should feel like an obligation or like an responsibility that people partake on. It should not feel as if you are trapped inside the marriage. I think many people would even agree with that statement. However, I do not think that love is enough to sustain a marriage. I think love plays a huge role, but I don't think it's everything. Because no matter how powerful love is, I do not think love is enough to prevent human nature. And one of the main factors of human nature is that humans change all the time. You were not the same person you were when you were 10 years old. You changed. We change every single day, little by little, and all of it compounds. And before we know it, we are a completely different person. Like, when did you stop becoming, when did you stop acting like a child? When you were 10, 11, 12, 15, when you were 18? At some point, you completely changed. But you don't know exactly at which point you changed. It's not like when you immediately turned 18, boom, everything clicked. That's not how it worked for most people. We changed little by little, slowly and slowly, until all of the changes compounded. And before we knew it, we are completely different. So, logically speaking, you can never be certain that the person that whom you love would be the same person in the future. Because just like how we changed in the past, we would keep on changing until the day we die in the future. In fact, it is almost guaranteed that humans will change. It's just a part of our nature. It is a part of our nature to change. It is part of our DNA. The only thing that you can do about it, well, you can't do anything about it actually. You can't prevent changing. So when it comes to marriage, the only way that you can guarantee if the other person, the only way that you can guarantee that the other person would not change is to basically to keep them trapped, to reduce their development, to completely stop their human development, to stop their nature. And I think that is on many fundamental levels wrong. And this is why I say that it would be best. This is why I believe it would be best if divorce is discussed before the marriage, because people do change. Sometimes people change in very useful ways. Sometimes people change in very unuseful ways, and it happens to all of us. Okay, it's not like there's this one specific group of people who would always change in useful ways, and there's this one specific group of people who would change in unuseful ways. No, no, no. Like, we will all change in useful and unuseful ways, and we have to accept that because that's realism. Because that's realistic. If you live in a fantasy world where you believe everyone would remain the same, nothing will change, I'm sorry to break it to you, but reality will come crashing down. It will knock on your door, and once you open it, it will not be pleasant, to put it mildly. So, this is why I believe that you should, in fact, discuss divorce before marriage. Because it's a far more realistic view of marriage. Because if both of you and your partner, whoever it may be, know and are prepared that you two will, in fact, change, then you will be better prepared to handle changes and you will be better prepared to sustain the marriage. You will know at what points in your relationship in the future in which like you will know that you'll basically create a baseline of all the things, like a, let's say, like a rule book saying, if this person does this, I'm out. If this person does this, if this person becomes someone like this, I'll be out. And if you share it with that person, then that would give them extra motivation to not turn out like that. And even if they do turn out like that, and you guys do in fact divorce, then I think it would be a far less hurtful marriage, because in a way you kind of predicted this would happen. You kind of foretold it would happen. I hope I'm making sense. Yeah, that is why I believe discussing divorce before marriage is a far more healthier way to, in a way, sustain that marriage. Because people do change, and you can never know that the person that you love today will still be the same person that you would love in the future. You can never know that. The only thing that you can do is have faith and to accept them, including all of their flaws, including all of the strengths. Just accept them as a whole. And when you really think about it, that's kind of life. It's like it's just a leap of faith. What do you all think?